Okay, so Jenna got you up to speed on the goals of the class. We spent a lot of time figuring out what we really wanted to do with this iOS 9 class, and we both agree that those are the main three things that we want to do. So we really hope we can get you there, and we hope that you want to get there too. I want to take a little second and watch a video that is very special to me. So it's a clip with this interview from Steve Jobs. I don't know the year. I'm sure I should figure out more info on it, but um, it's just for me, it's one of the most inspirational things I've ever watched in my life, and had a serious impact on my life. And I'm not joking about life changing. Like I'd say there's probably been a handful of moments in my life I call life changing, and watching this video was one of them. So I'm not expecting the same thing to happen to you, but this video meant so much to me that I want to share it with you in hopes that it can move you in a similar way. But if not, you'll at least understand kind of where I'm coming from with programming and why this is so special to me. So I will roll that video now, and then we'll kind of talk about it afterwards. So get your popcorn. Actually, not ready. It's like less than a minute, but let's watch this clip.
When you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. That's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use. Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again.
Wow, that is so cool. Uh, Really, I have goosebumps. I just watched it again. I can't tell you how many times I watch this. I always get goosebumps. I mean, I want you to take a second right now and just look at the things that are around you right now as you're sitting down. The clothes that you're wearing, somebody made that. They're probably not a genius. The computer you're using, yes, it was made by a huge team at Apple, but they aren't Einstein. Here's some stuff in my room like lotion. Somebody made this. The wall in my room, someone made that. This window, somebody made that. Like that box of tissues, someone made. Like just everything that's in your life, like social norms and like ideas that people have, like it's all created by people. And it's really, there's no like special training that you have to have in order to create things. Like obviously you have to have, some idea what you're doing, but you don't need permission from someone to be making stuff. And holy cow, just think about that. You can make things that other people can use. I mean, for example, here's my deodorant. It's awesome. It's from Old Spice, whatever. What if you thought of a new way to like roll out deodorant that was better? That maybe gets more out of the can, or is just a new way to apply it? Like, you can do that. You can freaking go make that. And people will enjoy it. It's so cool. And especially when you apply this to like programming and with apps, like if you make an app, you can share it literally with the world. The cool stuff about electronic things like apps, they can spread instantly, wherever you want, as many times as you want. You can make an app by yourself that can be installed on millions of phones, and that doesn't cost you anything, right? Okay, you got to pay a little money to put it up on the App Store, but something you made can be in the hands of millions and millions of people. That's just, holy cow. I think it's so, so cool. So if you can't tell, I absolutely love that clip. I love the dramatic transitions. I love the passionate music. Like, I love everything about it. And I just couldn't agree more with what he said. And man, when I heard that, it was game changer. It's so cool to think that you can make things that other people can use. You can be a creator. So, all right, I'm going to try and step off of my little soapbox here, but I'm sorry, it gets me really going, and it reminds me why I love programming so much. Yeah, when I meet people who have like taken my classes or have downloaded my apps and they told me that it helped them out with some situation or they thought it was cool, it's just like, man, like that is so cool. Like I made something that made a difference in someone else's life. And that's not to say that's all sunshine and roses. I have people who download my app that write a review say, it's a waste of money. You screwed me over. Beep, 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 beep. Okay, everyone's got their own opinion. Like, I understand that. But that is such a small part of what I've experienced. The bigger part has just been this super cool feeling of making things that other people can use. And I love to take something existing to make it better. An example is one of the apps that I made. It's an app that lets you send text, scheduled text to be sent in the future, because I'm a night owl and I stay up till like 1 or 2 and I want to text people. But when you text people at 2 a.m., they start to think you're crazy. They should know by now I'm crazy, but you know what I mean? You just can't really send stuff that late. So I made an app that did that, and it was cool to me because there was tons of apps that scheduled text to send later, but it was mine, and I knew exactly what I wanted and exactly what I wanted it to look like. And to create that felt awesome. And anytime I use my app and I think, oh, I want a new feature with this, I go and build it, and then I can use it. Oh, it really just gets me on this high that feels great. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed that video. I'd like to share some tips for success during this class. Like I said in my earlier video, asking questions is a big one. Never be afraid to ask. Please, let's make this a really active community. So whenever you log into Udemy in this class, you can kind of see the past couple of discussions or questions that are posted, and maybe go check and see if that's something you've had experience with and you can help someone out. Let them know. If someone in the class made a new app, like, give them a pat on the back, send them a gift, be like, that's awesome, like, great stuff. I love to have community here, and again, never be afraid to ask a question. So that's one tip. Another tip is I always want you to make sure you have some idea what's going on. Now, I know that in programming sometimes you just got to take my word for it or Jenna's word and just say, okay, we're going to do this thing, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the background, but in order for you to use it, you just have to do these couple of things, right? And so you don't have to get the entire picture, but at least have enough comfort that you feel, okay, this isn't like scary to me anymore. I understand that I could do this. Okay, so that's a big principle. So one way that you can do this, in programming, you have to come up with a lot of names for things. We're going to talk about these things called variables, and I'm going to be making variables the whole class. Jenna is too. Variables, constants, they're basically the same thing. Again, we'll get into that. But whenever we make those, Jenna and I are going to make our own names for them, but you can put your own name for it too. And I think if you kind of put your own twist on anything we do, you'll know that it's yours, and you'll kind of understand that, okay, this is something that I can tweak, and it's not like something that needs to be uniform. Because there are some things to be uniform. Like, straight up, if you don't put a space between, when you're making a variable, var, in the name of the variable, if there's no space, it won't work. Like, you have to do that. That's one of those things. But as far as the name of that variable, name it whatever you want. And so I think the more that you can figure out where you can have creative influence, it's going to help you learn more. So always kind of do something, whenever we make an app or something, kind of tweak it to be your own. And have fun with the names. Like, you'll see this throughout the thing, but if we're making an app that stores like, phone numbers or something, rather than just calling the variable for the phone number like the number, call it like my phone number or something like, or like the cool phone, like, I don't know, but just kind of have fun with it and make it your own. Same goes for apps. Like, we're going to be making a ton of apps in this class, and add your own spin onto it. Add an extra level onto the game, or add an extra feature when we're working with the camera or whatnot. So that's my biggest piece of advice, is just whenever we're working through this, make sure it's your own spin, because I don't want you to just be like a robot, like, oh, Rick is typing this? Okay, I'll type that too. Oh, Jenna, I'm following you exactly. Oh, good. Like, you can type what we type, but we want you to be like alive and doing things during our videos. So don't follow like verbatim what we're doing. Experiment a little, and if you do something and things break, that's okay. Go off the path a little bit. That's what the forum and questions are for. We can help you with that. So anyways, those are my 2 biggest tips. Don't be afraid to ask questions and kind of venture out and make these apps that we're making your own. I think that's going to be a big deal. And like I said, Jenna's gone over the goals of the class. I totally believe in those. These are just kind of 2 antidotes that I can think help get you to those goals. So with that, we're going to get back into the app making. Enough of this boring talking in front of the screen. This Nick on his soapbox. Nick or Rick, I don't know which it is. But anyways, thank you again so much for signing up, and hopefully you just love the rest of this. I'm super pumped for you. So go make some apps.